Hello students. In this session we are going to discuss the chapter 9 of class 8, that is crop production and management. Students, we know that food is one of the basic necessity of life for all living organism, and food provides energy for carrying out all body functions such as digestion, respiration and excretion. Food is required for growth, development and body repair, and also protect us from diseases. Among all the living organisms, only green plants are they can prepare their own food, and they are known as autotrophs. We get our food from plants or animal or both. So in order to provide food for a large population, proper management and distribution of food is necessary. The first great revolution in human history was the development and spread of agriculture. So people learned farming and cultivated wheat, rice, and other food crops. The prehistoric man also domesticated animals to meet their food requirement and do heavy physical work. And this marked a new era in the history of humans. From food gatherers, they turned into food producers. Agriculture is a Latin word in which ager means field and culture means cultivation. So, agriculture is an applied science that deals with the mass production of plants and animals useful to human beings. Beside crops production, several other related activities like animal husbandry, poultry, fishing, and sericulture they comes with the preview of agriculture. So, in this chapter, we will discuss the practices of growing crops, high scale production, proper management, and distribution of food is necessary. So, let's start. Crop and crop patterns. Crop plants of the same kind that are grown and cultivated at one place on a large scale, they are called crop. For example, crop of wheat means all the plants grown in the field they are of wheat. So the product of cultivated plant is called the crop products. India is a vast country, and the climatic conditions like temperature, humidity, and rainfall vary from one region to another region. And accordingly, there is a rich variety of crop grown in different parts of our country. Despite this diversity, two broad cropping patterns can be identified, and these are Kharif crop and Rabi crop. So the crops which are sown in rainy season are called Kharif crop. For example, paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut, cotton, etc. Kharif crops are generally sown at the beginning of the monsoon season, and they are harvested at the end of the monsoon season. Means they are harvested in September or October. The second one are the Rabi crops that are sown in the winter season are called Rabi crop. Rabi crop are sown at the beginning of the winter seasons and harvested in March and April. Rabi crops do not depend on monsoon rains for growth, and the example of the Rabi crops are wheat, gram, pea, mustard, barley. They are the Rabi crops. The basic agriculture practices. Agricultural practices, these are the activities in the particular sequence undertaken by farmers over a period of time to cultivate a good crop. And there is a sequential listing of agricultural practices: preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilization, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting and storage. So let's discuss preparation of soil. Preparation of soil is the first step of agriculture practice, and it requires three steps: plowing, leveling and manuring. So plowing, the process of loosening and turning of the soil is called plowing. It is also known as a tilling, and this is done by using a plow. This agriculture implement plow is made of wood or iron, and it's either drawn by a pair of bulls or other animals like horses or camels, or driven by tractors. And it contains a strong triangular iron strip called the plowshare. It is like a knife that cuts into the soil, and the plowshare is curved so it turns the soil after cutting. The main part of the plow is a long log of wood, or which is made up of iron sometime, that is called a plow shaft. And one pair of bull and a man can easily operate a plow. The second step is leveling. After plowing, the plowed land is leveled and pressed lightly with the help of a wooden plank, or it is also made up of iron, which is known as iron leveler. And a leveler can be driven by animals or by a tractor in the field. And leveling is done for breaking the big pieces of the soil that are called crumbs. Leveling prevents soil erosion, and the leveled soil is not blown by the wind or drained off by water. Leveling also help in the uniform distribution of water and manure in the field. And the next step is manuring. Manuring means adding manure to the soil, and sometimes manure is added to the soil before plowing. We have generally seen that soil supplies mineral nutrients to the crop, and these nutrients are essential for the growth of plant. Due to economic reason, farmers grow crop in the same field year after year, and continuous growing of crop makes the soil deficient in certain nutrients, and the soil loses its fertility. So the farmers have to add certain substances to the field to replenish the soil with nutrients. And these substances that are added in the soil for the nourishment and for the healthy growth of the plants, they are called manure and fertilizer. They are called manure and fertilizers. And the use of manure and fertilizers is called manuring. Manure manure is a Manures are organic compounds that are rich in nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and they are obtained by the decomposition of plants, animal waste, and the residue of the plants and animal that are decomposed by microbes. Whereas the first fertilizers are human-made chemicals which are rich in one or more or nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And fertilizers are produced in factories. Example are urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash. These are the example of some fertilizer that are used in fields. The next step is sowing. Sowing after soil preparation. The next step is selection and sowing of seed, and this is the most important stage of agriculture. Plants grow from seeds. So while selecting seeds, a lot of precautions must be taken. Good quality of seed should be selected. Healthy, disease-free seeds should be selected, and seeds should be treated with fungicides, means they are treated with chemicals that kill disease causing fungus in the seeds. And sowing to select the good quality of seed, we have to check them first, which one are the good healthy seeds, and we have to remove the damaged one. So to separate the good quality of seeds, you have to take a beaker and fill it with water. Now put a handful of wheat seeds in the beaker containing water. Now stir the water well and leave the beaker. Wait for some time. You will observe that some seeds float on the surface of water while the others settle at the bottom. What will be the reason? Damaged seeds become hollow and they are thus lighter, therefore they float on water. Whereas the good healthy seeds, they are heavier and they sink at the bottom. So we can conclude it that the floating seeds are damaged seeds. They are damaged seed and are not good for sowing. The seeds that settle at the bottom, they are good, healthy and fit for growing. Students, there are some advantages of using manure and fertilizers, as well as they have some disadvantages also. For example, manure advantages of adding manure is it is organic in nature, and it manure it enhance the water holding capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous due to the exchange of gases become easy, and manure can be prepared in the field because of the decomposition of the dead decaying organic matter. For example, cow dung, human waste and animal fecal matter is used to prepare the manure. It improves the texture of the soil, and it also adds humus to the soil. It is not expensive and can be prepared from waste in the farm, and it does not cause water pollution because these are manure are the organic substances, and they are considered better than the fertilizers. But there are some advantages of fertilizer also, because fertilizer they are water soluble and they are easily absorbed by the plants for their growth. Along with this, they have some disadvantages also. Modern agriculture depends greatly on the chemical fertilizers, and excessive use mean high doses of fertilizers greatly increases crop yield. But when fertilizers get washed off through irrigation and rainfall, they reach water bodies like river and lakes, which cause water pollution. Therefore, in order to maintain the fertility of the soil without excessive use of fertilizer, to avoid water pollution, we have to substitute fertilizers by organic compounds, leave the two field uncultivated in between the two crops, and practice crop rotation. So we can maintain the fertility of soil by using manure or by organic method also. The sowing of seed, it can be done by two methods only: broadcasting and seed drilling. In this picture you can see that a person is throwing seeds manually. So the method in which the seeds are scattered over a field by hand is called broadcasting, and this method is not efficient because it is traditional, and it cannot ensure proper spacing between seeds or help to sow them at the right depth. And the second method is by the use of a seed drill. Nowadays, a seed drill is used for sowing with the help of a tractor, and a seed drill has a funnel shaped, you can see it is a funnel, and it has a seed bowl, funnel shaped seed bowl that is connected to several tubes, and the drill is attached to a plow. This drill is attached to the plow, and the drill as the plow makes furrow along the field, the seeds in the seed bowl, they are released through the tubes, and they are placed at a proper distance and proper depth in the soil. So by using drill by using seed drill, the seeds are sown uniformly at appropriate distance and depth, and it also ensure that seeds get covered by the soil after sowing, because this prevent the damage caused by the birds. And sowing by using a seed drill, it also saves time and labor. Students, you have generally seen that uh, some plants and vegetables like paddy, tomato, onion, chili, and brinjal, they are sown in small nurseries, and we then go to the nurseries and purchase the small plantlets from there, and then transplant them into our field or in our kitchen garden. The When seedlings are formed, they are manually transplanted in the field, and this process of This process of transferring the saplings from the nursery to a field is known as a transplantation. And this practice has the following advantages. It helps in the selection and planting only healthy seedlings. Spacing can be controlled by the transplantation method. Proper space can be maintained between the plants so that they can utilize optimum sunlight, sufficient water and nutrient from the soil. So it has very advantages, and you have generally seen the people in your locality or nearby locality, they are planting the paddy saplings in the field that is filled with water. The next step is irrigation, and water is one of the most vital substance that support life on living earth, such as plants, animals and humans. Plants need water for their survival because water is important for their proper growth and development of the flowers, fruits and seeds. So all the crops plants need water for their growth, and it is therefore necessary to supply water to the crop plant in the field periodically. And the process of supplying water to crop plant in the field is called irrigation. Irrigation requirement of crop depends upon the nature of the crop, nature of the soil and season. Sources of irrigation are river, canals, wells, tube wells and dams, ponds, lake, etc. And the time and frequency of irrigation, it depends upon the nature of the crop, nature of the soil of the crop growing and season when the crop is growing. And there are different methods to irrigate the water. Some are traditional and some are modern. For example, the traditional method are pulley system, lever system, dhekli and chain pump. Whereas the modern method of irrigation, they include sprinkler and drip irrigation. In sprinkler system, sprinkler is used and it is generally beneficial in uneven land. And in drip irrigation, it is a long network of pipes that have holes at certain intervals, at regular intervals, and the water from these holes passes drop by drop directly at the position of the roots. So there is a no wastage of water, and this system is generally beneficial for the crops that are grown generally in desert area or the areas where there is scarcity of water is common. Removing the weed is the next step. Weeds are the unwanted plants that grows along with the cultivated crops. And the process of removing weeds is known as a weeding. Weeds, they are the process of removing a weed is known as weeding, and they are removed manually. They are removed manually, or they are also removed by using certain chemicals. Mechanical method that is used to remove the weeds, they are pulled out the unwanted plants with hands. Plowing also help in removing large number of weeds because it uproots majority of them. And weeds can be removed by using tractor driven seed drill, hoe and a harrow. These are the agriculture implements. And the weeds that appear during the growth of crop plants are removed manually by using a trowel, or which is also known as a khurpi. Chemically, they are killed by using chemicals that are known as weedicide, like 2,4-D is a common 2,4-D is a common weedicide, and weedicide do not damage the crop. Spraying of weedicide may affect the health of the farmers because their fumes, they may get inhaled by the farmers and sometimes they may cause problem. So they should use these weedicides very carefully. They have to cover their nose and mouth with a piece of cloth during spraying of weedicides with sprayers. Harvesting is the next process. The process of cutting and gathering of crop after its maturation is called harvesting, and it usually takes 3 to 4 months for a cereal crops to mature. In in harvesting, crops are pulled out or cut close to the ground. And in our country, harvesting is either done manually by sickle or by a machine called the harvester. After the crop is harvested, the grain seeds are separated from the chaff by the process of threshing. And this can be done manually by striking the crop against the hard surface or by making farm animals trample over the crop. A machine called thresher is also used to do the job of threshing. And in large farms, a machine called combine. This is combine. This machine is combine. Is used. A combine machine perform dual job. As a combine, it also help in harvesting as well as is also help in threshing. Grains separated by threshers, they are need to be winnowed. So winnowing help in the separation of seeds from the chaff. And the next step is storage. The harvested crop grains have more moisture content. So before storing them, the grains are properly dried in the sun to reduce the moisture in them. And on a commercial scale, however, mechanical dryers with hot air blowers are used, which prevent the attack of insect, pest, and bacteria and fungus also. And the dried food grains, they are stored in a suitable storage. Generally, farmers store their grains in jute bags or in metallic bins. On a commercial scale, food grains are stored in gunny bags in granaries or in grain silos. The grain silos are big and tall cylindrical structure. They store different stocks of food items at different level. So in our next video, we will discuss the remaining topic. Thank you.